So we'll eventually figure out a platform that allows us to all engage with each other than just the comment section. And yeah, so till then, we're just going to keep figuring it out together and hope for the best. That's not the current one, is it? For the best. Come on, honey. Shut the door. Oh, Brayden's in here. What? Sorry about that, my kids. But yeah, I mean, here we are, Mental Health Talk Community. So basically what this is we're going to be providing a safe and encouraging place to understand and develop the mental stressors that we all go through in the journey of life. Going forward, we'll be discussing different topics over mental health, and through this journey, we'll also have guest speakers on. Those guest speakers will range from people who have really good testimonies, who have saw adversity and overcame it and ended up on the other side of it and is now doing very well for themselves. Or we're also going to have other professionals, whether that be counselors, therapists, psychiatrists, all going to, for anybody that's seeing this is all going to kind of flow into what I'm actually working on as far as a nonprofit goes. This mental health talk is just kind of like the beginning structure of it. We're actually in the talks with a bunch of people and different things. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I still have it pretty private. We're still in that position. Now, thankfully, I have a really good counselor now. But I've obviously had to go through a handful of them to get there. So, and I know other people that have counselors and they've gone through the same struggles. So, the price we're paying, especially if you don't have insurance, just the value is just not there for a lot of people. And then a lot of this pertains mainly to like males, but community. The more action we take towards bettering ourselves as individuals and seeking out that growth, the better our communities will be and the less crime we will have at the end of the day. So that's kind of what's important here. So what does that mean? If you know the answer to this, all right. So, answer to this question. That means that by not taking care of our minds, we can actually cause our bodies to go into distressed states, very similar to the fight or flight mode. Life is always going to present stressors, whether that be work, relationships, out in the public with strangers, social anxiety one with everybody, including myself. Um, but they define it as not understanding why we have our emotions or how to manage them. We create this never ending cycle of holding them in. I'm sure everybody's been there. You know, you hold it in for long, for long, for long. You have that one moment, poof, all of the emotions. A lot of people, you know, they come from families that believe in the same traditions, you know, through generation after generation, and nobody ever really takes into consideration that, you know, maybe this isn't healthy. Maybe we need to approach the situation from a different angle and have a different this whole thing to begin with, is to end all that, so that way we can create happier and more confident individuals and have pride in the journey they take. But like as mentioned, I also don't know how to express love. Love is a very strong feeling for a lot of people, especially those that don't get much of it and seek them, end in divorce on the second try. And then 73% end on the third try. And after the third try, that's usually about when you start seeing those people talk bad about relationships, talk bad about male, female, whoever you are in that situation. You don't think relationships and love. What happens when we go through a divorce or a breakup? Again, I'm going to leave you guys a little bit of time to answer that question there. All right. We experience an emotional roller coaster, which for most of us causes anger, are trying to do here. So our goal with Mental Health Talk community is to minimize those risk factors through resources, different tactics, and group discussions to help others become more confident in their journey. And as a male myself, we possibly have one of the biggest stigmas around. Now, I'm not discrediting females either, because there's a lot of females that get that stigma. Honestly, those kind of put me downs or really don't make any sense if you ask me. So why the labels? Well, the labels are placed because of the lack of information we are being provided among the masses. Labels also come from the lack of understanding your anger and how to manage it. Our jealousy, anger, misunderstanding, to go about counseling. Counseling is there to provide you structure and advice. It's not necessarily there to tell you exactly what you need to do, but it is there to provide you some sort of structure and advice in a safe environment. And so with that, most people forget that the most important count for one's actions. That is what dictionary.com defines accountability as. Now, we do understand with all the resources available, they're not always made known to us. I know they at least weren't for me. And I'm sure if they weren't for me, they probably weren't for you at one point. That is why Mental Health Talk community is taking action to make those resources available to the everyday persons. We're all probably pretty familiar with this one way or another. And that's going to be anger, jealousy, and also sadness. Okay? So anger is defined as a strong feeling of annoyance, displeasure, or hostility. Jealousy is defined as a feeling of resentment, bitterness, or hostility. Give you a second to respond. It's a tough question there, huh? So what do all three of these have in common? Anger, jealousy, and sadness. They all create an undesirable mood and a state of despair. Intense emotions that can lead to rash decisions, and anger and embarrassment may take you to a particularly vulnerable, or may make you particularly vulnerable to high risk, low payoff choices. It is suspected in intense, uncomfortable situations that emotions impair self regulation skills. So, fight or flight mode. Boy, and you feel like you should have them, or somebody else does have them, and you feel you deserve to have that relationship, not them. And so, you're going to lash out to try and get your way because you're jealous. You're jealous of something that you want that you think somebody else shouldn't have. So with that, jealousy is a form of anger. It's really all in the mindset and how you look at things. So you can turn jealousy, which is a form of anger, into something that's more, or should I say, less angry of a situation. Making yourself more aware of it and all the different alternatives. So how many times have you encountered a situation around jealousy? And just like, whatever, we'll move on, I don't really care, don't care about life, things like that. And so we're willing to settle for less and maybe miss out on our greatest potential. So you may decide to not apply for a job promotion, or you may not negotiate for something that you may have wanted because you're feeling down. So it impairs that judgment, and later regretted that decision that you made. Feel free to share your stories in the comments. I will look at them after. And then get to the end of this. So the conclusion of this. So after today's topic over emotions, we can conclude that the way to manage and understand our emotions can determine our outcomes in the future. We have learned that the primary emotions can cause some data points and things like that. And once we get through the introduction phase, then we will start diving deeper into these categories. And we are excited to announce, we don't have official dates yet. We're still working on that. They're very busy people, so we're just working on getting back with each other about dates that work for them. Minutes. I know this has been kind of all over the place because I couldn't figure out how to work this. But hopefully next week we'll go a little bit smoother. We'll do some deeper diving into how to achieve what I'm looking to achieve, so that way you guys can be a part of these discussions, because that's the whole purpose, is to include you guys. And let's be on the path to better. So as always, these stories, things like that, just get with me or my wife Natalie regarding that kind of stuff, so that way we can map out a date on sharing your testimony. And then same thing with giving people advice. I strongly encourage it. I only have one rule of the thing you're giving advice on, and have and have actually accomplished becoming stronger in that topic. That's really my only rule when it comes to giving people advice, just because it's kind of devalues the advice when you know you either haven't taken action for yourself, or you're still currently struggling through, where I have mental health talk on there as well. And so you're more than welcome to go over to my YouTube channel, like and subscribe, spread the word. That's going to be youtube.com/Michael B. Berlin over there on YouTube. And hopefully you guys saw some value in this. Hopefully you guys have an idea of what's to come. And hopefully I start seeing more of you guys participate. It all causes wear and tear on you mentally over the long run, and so it's all very important to take care of. So as always, God bless, love you all, stay beautiful, have a wonderful weekend, have a wonderful week. And if you saw value in this video or this live stream, please share